Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about 5 signs that you might have a controlling leader. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, so if this is your first time here, welcome. I want to thank you for coming here on my channel. I am going to be dropping a video every Thursday. So if you like the content on this channel, if you find it helpful, if you find that you're learning things, go ahead and hit the notifications button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, okay? I would love to have you a part of our community. If you don't know who I am, I'm going to be your coach on this little corner in the internet. My name is Maggie Mejia and I am wife to Pastor Ed Mejia, and I have 3 beautiful children, Joseph, Olivia, and Elijah. I am founder and head coach at She Matters University, where we help women get laser target focused, emotionally healthy in their life, business, and ministry so that they can start changing the world with what they already know. So you popped on this video today because you saw that I was giving you all the tea on if you might have a controlling leader. I'm also going to explain what might be the root cause in that leader's heart, how that type of leadership affects you, and what can you do to actually approach this leader to move things in the right direction. What are some signs that you might have a controlling leader? If you find yourself either scared or struggling to communicate new ideas with this leader, they don't receive anything new from you, or they might even listen to what you say and then later you kind of find out that they stole your idea, that is a sign that you might have a controlling leader. If you find yourself constantly in that scared fight or flight response, it's possible that you might have a controlling leader. Sign number 2 that you might have a controlling leader. This leader thinks that they are the bomb. And I know that as funny as that may sound, I am dead serious. What happens with people who are overly confident is that they don't ask anybody for anything. And the reason that this is dangerous is because when a person is overly confident about what they do, they are not very quick to judge their performance. And what I mean that even in a healthy way, right? Not even critiquing their own performance because they're overly confident. They think that everything they perform, everything they do, everything they say is the way that it's supposed to be. And because of this overconfidence, what happens is they just assume that everybody is okay with their leadership because nobody's really coming up to this leader, but they have no idea why. Another thing that comes with this overconfidence, and I'll mark this down as number 3, is that they always think that they're right. And so if that person always thinks that they're right, what happens is they actually close the doors to other people's opinions unless other people's opinions agree with theirs. Don't tell nobody. They don't ask other people's opinions. They rarely judge themselves because in their own eyes, they are always right. Number 4, they control the intel. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn, we had a saying where people would say, nobody's gonna have one up on me. That one up culture is something that controlling leaders live by. Therefore, if they have information, they're only going to give you half of that information. They will give different information to different people because nobody is ever going to get the full story, because if the full story comes out, that controlling leader somehow feels that you now have one up on them. And number 5 is they always have to be a part of every decision. If this leader has to be a part of every decision that is made and they have the final word on everything, nothing can be out of their control. You cannot make decisions on your own. When you have made decisions that were contrary to what they would have thought, they find that as a bad decision as well. So even if you have made some decisions on your own and it was the right thing to do, because you didn't run it by this person, they feel in some sort of way it was a personal attack towards them and they take it as disrespect. So now that you've heard the 5 things, the second topic I want to talk about is what is actually happening in this leader's heart. What is at the root of this controlling kind of leadership, right? So even though this person might seem loud, this person might seem like they are upfront, this person might seem very forward, very blunt, right? It doesn't matter what they look like on the outside. They might not be the person who is loud and in the front and in the center. However, whenever you are engaging in conversation, they're very direct, they're very rude, they're very condescending and belittling. So at the root of this leader's heart is insecurity. This is why every time you talk to this person, they're super defensive, and the only reason is because they're feeling challenged and they are personalizing what you're saying rather than looking at something objectively. Insecurity shows up in two ways. Either you want to hide all the way in the background, or you want to get all the way in the front. Insecurity does not know how to just be, because just being costs too much. It costs exposing the heart of what's really going on with the person. So a coping mechanism is to either get out in front, look like the loud, domineering, controlling person, right? Or you're going to hide all the way in the background where nobody has to invade your space in order to offend you in some way. Their insecurities actually start limiting people. What does insecurity do in the context of leadership? What insecurity does is that it holds other people's opportunities back, because insecurity is always trying to fight for that control. It's always trying to fight to feel secure. And so in order for that insecure leader to feel secure, they have to limit the opportunities of other people so that they feel like they're always on top. Another sign that this insecurity is something that they're dealing with is that they don't know how to deal with delicate issues. So if you are a pastor, if you are a leader, if you are a business owner, and you have a team that you work with, what happens is people are people. Life is life. And so they're going to have issues in life. There's going to be problems in life. People are going to clash because everyone has different personalities, and that's okay. But the insecure leader cannot deal with delicate issues because they are at an emotional standstill. If somebody is insecure and they don't work on that insecurity, they're going to be at an emotional standstill. So what delicate issues do for that emotional state is that it starts to bring up all their own insecurity, and because they don't like that feeling, three reactions start happening. They either go numb, nasty, or nervous. You're going to find out that they are super anxious, that they have more anxiety than you know, or you're going to find that they're just like, okay, that's fine, whatever, that's fine. You want to leave? Then quit. Just go. I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Right? And they just do the I'm fine game. Right? And they go numb. It's almost like an emotional shutdown right in front of your face. Or they get nasty. And these are the leaders that just kind of like get up in your face. They just want to be wrong and strong. You know what I mean? So they're the kind of person that they want to approach and get in your face and do all this and just do the most. But it's because, once again, you've challenged that insecurity. But what's happening is their point of view, they feel like they're being attacked. You thought you were just talking to your leader. So you're going to get one of three reactions. Now, why do I even mention the insecure leader, right? Because if controlling is on top, insecurity is at the root. But why do both of these things even matter? They matter because if you're a leader, I want you to take an internal look now. If you're a leader and you have found that any of these things are a struggle for you, the reason it's important is because number one, you're a leader. And I don't mean that by, oh, you need to set an example. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean is that there's something that people saw in you in the first place. There's something that God gifted you with in the first place. There's a promise and a purpose in your life, in your belly. You know, there's a message in your mouth for you to tell the world. And at the end of the day, everything that I'm mentioning, it stops your growth. And when you stop growing as a leader, the people that you lead, which is my next point, the people that you lead, they grow very resentful. And the people you feel God called you to, the customers that you want to serve, the people in the world that you want to hear the gospel, whatever it is that God called you to do, these are the things that stunt our growth. Let me talk a little bit about what that kind of leadership does to a person. Number one, it doesn't build people, it breaks people. Okay? When you are a leader, your purpose, like your whole job is to build people up, is to empower people to do, is to cause people to believe, is to literally rip out that identity that was always there and cause them to see it. So at the end of the day, if you're tearing people down and you're breaking people because of your own insecurities, that is a problem, right? That's a problem. Not only do people feel broken, they feel discouraged. And discouragement, when you discourage your own people, when you discourage your own team, that is cause for you to start making the necessary moves that you need to make in order to pull people up again, to build people up again, because nobody goes at this alone. Nobody. People are discontent. They feel overlooked. They feel confused, unloved, and eventually they grow resentful. If you are a controlling leader, what's underneath the surface are insecurities. These insecurities, you are projecting them out to the people that follow you, the people God called you to, the people that you say you want to build up. Because you are projecting and displaying that kind of behavior, these people are now feeling unloved, discontent, discouraged, and eventually grow resentful. Okay? And so my suggestion to you is to take this in with no shame, blame, or guilt, and take a really good look at yourself. Take a really good look at what God is trying to reveal to you. Don't point this out at anybody else, but take a good look at what God wants to do in you as a leader. I left you guys a link down below, and it's just a bunch of questions that you can ask yourself to start dealing with these insecurities, to find out if you're a controlling leader, to find out that maybe these insecurities, you've been projecting them to your family, you've been projecting them to your team, to your church, to the people that you're responsible for. Maybe in your marriage, you're insecure and you find that you're trying to control the relationship. I need you to listen. Download that PDF, leader, okay? Go through those questions to take a deep internal look at what God is trying to show you and to reveal to you. And from there, you're going to get a really good glimpse at the mirror of your heart. And now you have something to offer the Lord. This is what you're going to let go of, okay? These insecurities you're going to let go of, okay? So I hope that helps. For the person that feels that they have this controlling leader, I want to give you some tips on how to approach this leader if you find yourself in that position, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is send them this podcast. No. Psych, nah, I'm just kidding. That would be the wrong thing to do. But seriously speaking, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to set an intention. What do I mean by that? I want you to set an intention. How do you want the outcome of this conversation to be? If you don't set that intention from the very beginning, remember you're walking into a sensitive conversation, and sensitive conversations tend to have a lot of emotion attached to them. So what you want to do is you want to set that intention beforehand, because anytime you feel yourself having an emotional charge, taking something they say personal, finding that you're in tears now and you don't know how you got there, what you want to do is you want to say from the beginning, okay, self, what is the purpose of this talk? Is the purpose of this talk is I'm leaving this job, I'm leaving this relationship, I'm leaving this company, I'm leaving this church, right? Is the conversation I'm leaving? Is the conversation reconciliation, meaning that I had a lot of unforgiveness in my heart and I kind of want to talk to you about it? I would set the intention from the very beginning, so I know that's almost like your totem, right? So if anything contrary in the conversation starts happening or goes a certain place where you don't want it to be, you know the intention you had, so you can pull back. Number 2, I want you to start with their positive characteristics. Listen, it's not fake or phony to start with something positive. There's a reason that you have been under their leadership, that you've stayed with them for however long you've stayed with them. That was for a reason, right? And so you saw something in them and you still see something in them and you want to address what you see in them. So start off with some positive characteristics. Just be like, hey, Karen, I wanted us to have a chance to talk because number 1, I wanted to express to you how I've developed under your leadership. You have led us into some of the most creative and artistic projects I have ever worked on before. I love how you are very forward thinking and you kind of like you're a big picture person, and it really has challenged me as a team member to grow in that area, right? And so I do want to acknowledge that I have really grown under your leadership. Another reason why I call this meeting is because and then get into the point I'm about to make. Third thing I want you to do is I want you to state the event and how you feel. So state the event and how you feel. Don't go all into the emotional storm and sent you into that you were home for 4 days and this. They don't need to know all that. If anything, people overshare. That's actually a very manipulative tactic, and it's because they're trying to get you to feel bad. And so if you're dealing with a controlling leader and someone who is insecure, all of those things are not reasons for them to feel sorry for you. All of those things are exactly why they're going to point the problem right back to you. They're going to let you know, this is your issue. This is not my issue. I don't have an issue. You have an issue, right? So that's why you're stating facts like the event, and you're stating how you feel, okay? So it would be something like this. Hey, Karen, when we were all together the other day at a team meeting, I was talking, and in the middle of me talking, you started talking over me. And I told you I was in the middle of talking, and you said, what you're saying is not important, and you kept talking. That made me feel, I felt really disrespected, but the reason I felt disrespected was because it really hurt. And I want you to know this hasn't been the first time that you did that to me. As a matter of fact, the reason I'm talking to you is because I don't want this to be an issue or a problem in my own heart. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because I value the friendship, the relationship, but I can't do fake or phony. I really wanted to talk about this. And then be quiet. Don't say anything else. Let them respond. Now, if they respond and everything is all good, they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't notice that I do that, this, that, and the third. Move on, right? No problem. Thank you. I just wanted to let you know. Thank you. If they don't respond like that and they're just like, well, I don't really see how that was even a problem. It's not that serious. You shouldn't be so sensitive. You are still going to move on. You hear their response, you repeat their response, and then if they don't change their answer, you move on. What I mean by that is this. So this is you now. So you're telling me that cutting me off and talking over me and telling me what I'm saying is not important and telling me that the issue I have now is because I'm too sensitive, that's the real issue, and stay quiet. You're going to question and stay quiet, but you're questioning them exactly how they said it. Do not put words in their mouth. Do not do any of that, because I'm telling you, you need to let them hear their words. And if they say that's exactly what I'm telling you, you move on, because now you know you have a different issue to deal with. You're not going to waste your energy on somebody who doesn't want to change. You're going to use that energy towards two things. Number one, you're going to have grace. I know that's not the common thing to say, but you're going to have grace. And what I mean by that is sometimes people are so shell-shocked when you tell them so straightforward like that immediately they want to defend. And so that can be Karen defending herself. Okay, so immediately they want to defend. And so take in what they're saying. You can clearly see they didn't want to have that conversation right now. So then why have it? You're going to move on. But what I say is have grace. Let a month go by. Still attend that church. Still go to that job. Still be a part of that team. Because what you're waiting for is you're waiting to see if the conversation that you and Karen had actually made a difference. Did she go into her secret place and reflect in that place? Because you will see in her behavior what you didn't see in her words. And so have grace with people. Even after the conversation, I would say stick around for a month and see if something changes. Now, if you see that in that month that she's treating you the same or even worse, that she's cutting you off, that she's keeping you out of things, that she's not calling you for the meeting, there's information that she's giving out that she's no longer giving out to you, now you have the second option. You're going to use your brain energy to start working with your offense, to start working on your forgiveness, to start working on your emotional health, because that hurts, right? When somebody is deliberately and cognitively, meaning that they know what they're doing, hurting you because you've had the conversation already and they are unwilling to change, I'm telling you now, run from that leadership. Because the reason that you stay there, even after these conversations, is because there's something in you. It's called trauma bonding. And the trauma in you and the trauma in that leader, and you can't seem to leave, but they can't seem to change, and nothing's getting done, and you are being torn down. Nothing is being fruitful, productive, anything, and it's just producing bad fruit. It's because of the trauma bonding. And you need to get free of that. And so you need to use that energy to now work on yourself, work on your attitude, work on how that hurt you and how you feel. You start thinking that something was wrong with you. You start thinking that you're not important. And most definitely, you start feeling inadequate. And because of that, I want you to start working on you. So that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope that you got value from this video. And like I said, if you want more videos like this, then I want you to go ahead and click that notification button and subscribe to the channel so that I can keep bringing you value. All right, guys, go out there, love hard, be present, and do what matters. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.